Wrapped Creative, Mortimer Harvey, and the Real Network has announced their liquidation after losing about 60 million.
To think that that's where the industry is going, it's quite scary.
Brands are really sort of looking at the value of the spend that they sort of do on creative work. This is just a signal that agencies are going to have to sort of start getting really competitive about how they show up in front of clients.
Good PR. So one.
I'm Sim, co-founder and managing director of Melenial Media, a reluctant girl boss and serious creator, obsessed with Excel, but I'm passionate about Fridays.
I'm Richmond. I'm an entertainment and media professional, and I am a PR account director at Melenial, and I am obsessed with music and pop culture.
Welcome to the Good PR podcast, brought to you by Melenial Media. We bring you closer to the ideas, stories, strategies that are shaping South Africa's marketing and media worlds.
From industry news to emerging trends to in-depth conversations with key voices, we're pulling up an insider seat for you to the business of African influence and storytelling. Here, we invite you to connect theory to execution, showing what it really takes to build meaningful content today from the point of view of the minds who make it.
And whether you're watching us on YouTube or listening on your favorite podcast platform, subscribe, follow, and join the conversation by leaving us a comment below. Let's get into it.
We have a massive first episode planned. We're going to be going through some news that's making the industry shake. We're going to talk about some exciting TV shows. And then we're going to look at some of the great work that Adidas is doing for the culture.
Yes.
And then obviously we are going to talk about the work that we do here at Melenial.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
We've got to talk about us.
Yes.
What if there was a space where your creative and content ideas came to life? Welcome to Set Life HQ, where your best work meets the best environment. Now, Set Life has always been about giving you the best life, the best team, and now the best studio. From fully equipped lighting setups to flexible spaces to fit any vision, think of it as like a creative playground where your ideas take center stage. It's time to create without limits. Book now by emailing hello@setlifestudios.co.za. Set Life is the best life.
To give you a quick snapshot of some major news that have shaped the first half of 2026 in South African marketing and media. Sadly, a Wrapped Creative agency, which is made up of Wrapped Creative, Mortimer Harvey, and the Real Network, has announced their liquidation after losing about 60 million of their reported 200 million a year revenue when they ended their contract with Signal Hill. So do you know who Signal Hill is?
No, who's Signal
So Signal
Hill?
Hill, I think they have, it's a beverage licensor. I could be wrong. But under them, they have the brand Strongbow and a few others. So I mentioned Strongbow because it's my fave.
Okay.
But anyway, so they announced the liquidation back in March 26. And yeah, just a really tough time, I think, for the agency market. I think brands are really sort of looking at the value of the spend that they sort of do on creative work. And yeah, I think this is just a signal that agencies are going to have to sort of start getting really competitive about how they show up in front of clients to really, put a stamp on their value.
Yeah. It's quite scary because we've got friends and colleagues who worked there. And so to think that that's where the industry is going, it's quite scary. But again, it does speak to what you're saying, that, we need to really be sure to dot our T's and
You know what I'm saying?
dot our I's, not our T's. Jeez.
We need to make
this is why we're
sure.
losing the work.
We need to make sure. But yeah, what else is up in the news?
Bumile Dwaba announced that she would be opening her Anino beauty store at Fourways Mall, which is quite exciting. She's a businesswoman. She, is on on her podcast, Wisdom and
Yes,
Wellness,
Wisdom and
which
Wellness,
is
yeah.
very popular.
Yeah.
But I think what's particularly interesting is that she's partnering with Sheldon from Legends Barber.
Yes. Also, shout
And
out Sheldon.
Shout out to Sheldon. And like they've done some amazing stuff. So I think this partnership will be really good. So that's something exciting to look out for.
I'm interested for me to see. So obviously Sheldon's track record with franchising the Legends Barbershop brand is literally, like, we all know, we can all see, and it's honestly doing amazing, so successful. He moved on to product development with Fade, so doing really well there. What I'm really interested to see is not so much how many Anino Beauty stores they end up opening, is if it actually moves on to product development for Anino. Like, will we see nail polishes? Will we see, gel nail? I don't know. I'm trying to see something, Yeah, so that's what I'd be interested to see. But I mean, congratulations to them. I think such a powerful partnership. And yeah, I think if Legends Barbershop is anything to go by, I think they're going to have a lot of success.
Agreed.
Top billing is back.
Love.
We all know top billing is back by now.
Love top billing.
So I think this is definitely giving nostalgia. And I think the production company, I don't know if it's Cordova or Basetsana's one, but definitely playing into the nostalgia kind of era that we're in. But more interestingly, I think, is the response and the reaction to the return of top billing, I find. So TV with Tinus reported, he's a TV journalist, that the first episode of Top Billing in its return, so it's been off the air, by the way, for 6 years. So the first episode that returned pulled 133,320 people. This is giving Jacob Zuma with my numbers here. But I feel like that's like, if you think about viewership and traditional media in 2026, I would imagine like much lower numbers. I think they've been able to do a really solid job, especially for SABC3, which we know is sort of being surpassed by SABC1 and SABC2 in terms of viewership numbers. So I think this will really help not only the channel, but I think the talent that is being revived. We're seeing Michael Mole is back.
Yes, the good doctor.
I saw Jonathan Boynton Lee is back as well. But I think for me, like, these numbers are a positive signal. Like episode 2, 133,000, again, 326 people. Week 3, 177,000. So yeah, I think that we can safely say that top billing is back, and it's back with a bang.
Yeah, and I think also the way we watch TV now has evolved from what it used to be. So a lot of people are not watching linear television. So I know that they do also broadcast it on SABC Plus, their streaming platform.
Shout out SABC
Plus.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would be interested to see if these numbers that Tinus has shared are inclusive of the SABC Plus
That's such
viewers,
a good point.
or if it's just like the linear TV viewership.
Such a good point. Such a good question. TV with Tinus, please comment and let us know. We know you're watching.
And then Essence and Pabi Cooper have just recently
Back
announced
together again. Yes.
their partnership, which I think it's quite exciting because Pabi Cooper, I love Pabi Cooper. And she's really exciting, and she's, like such a good ambassador. I know colleagues of mine worked with her before on a different brand, and it was just a great experience for them. And yeah, she did quite a lot for the brand. So it would be interesting to see how they roll out this partnership with Essence. I think it's a really smart partnership. And Essence is, the audience for Essence is, more on the affordable side. Which I think is very in line with Pabi Cooper's audience, which is significantly young. So it would be interesting to see how they roll out the partnership.
Yeah, and I don't know if my friends on Pavi's team can share anything with us in terms of sort of how it is doing, how the numbers are doing. But I think the partnership I think is a second spin together, because they came in with a collaboration partnership at first. So regular campaign, and now I love that it's elevated to actual product with Puppy's Bomb. I haven't tried Puppy's Bomb yet. I'm quite keen to try it, but I'm also sort of, you know what? Let me. But just shout out Puppy and the Essence team. I think wishing you guys all the success, and this is exciting news in terms of, you know, talent and brand collaborations when it comes to product.
Yeah. And it's good to see that brands are still, you know, getting ambassadors and stuff because, you know, the influencer space has made things shake for a little bit.
Yeah, no, for sure. And then lastly, on our news headlines, beauty on tap, our faves. Okay, let me say my faves.
My faves
because
as well.
my cupboard is full of beauty on tap.
Yeah, same.
Okay, let it be
Pastry,
known.
full of pastry.
full of pastry.
Yeah.
But you see, I also buy the other products that they sell on Beauty on Tap.
Yeah.
But anyway, they've launched a podcast as well called Beyond the Beauty Podcast, which is actually hosted by Mate Benguenya. And on her first episode, she actually had her friend Rampepe, who's a voiceover artist and has emceed some of the events as well. And I think this is such a good move for Beauty on Tap, for pastry, for Matebe. I think as a brand that has been able to really solidify the way that their customer experience, really, I think they don't negotiate on that. And I think I love to see this elevation and, you know, this progression into a platform where they can actually sort of communicate directly with that consumer outside of product, outside of selling. So very excited to see more episodes.
Yeah, I think I particularly like the community building opportunity that this gives them, because on social, like, they've got a lot of short form content.
Yeah.
And sometimes, you know, it's just, you know, getting the education out or speaking about products. But now with this platform that, you know, they are launching, it gives them the opportunity to go more in depth, show like behind the scenes of building the business. So I think a lot of people now like really are into seeing like the behind the scenes and inner workings of the brands that they support. So I think from a community building perspective, it's a really good move from them.
You know what? And on that note, actually, it makes me think about sort of founder-led content. And I think Matebe is doing it in such a fresh way. She called herself on the first episode the guinea pig at Pastry. And, you know, we love that she's the one that sort of tries the products before they get to us. But also, it's also, I think, in South Africa, an opportunity for us to tap more into founder-led content, long-form content as well. So we've seen it with Odd Muse in the UK. We've seen it with Tala. We've seen it with Gwyneth Paltrow. Issa Rae just dropped a podcast on Ray Media. And I think more and more South African entrepreneurs actually need to be leaning into that space, but in a way that sort of speaks to showcasing the founder, you know, behind the business, getting a little bit more personal, letting the consumer in, letting the audience in. So, yeah.
But also that so that you are not the CEO who eats the burger from your establishment on camera for the first time. And finding out that you actually hate the burger.
What is actually the law about these burgers? Because I actually don't know the story. I think it has something to do with the M chain. I'm not quite sure chain.
I'm not quite sure where it started, but basically, like, the CEOs just like started tasting their burgers on camera.
I honestly need somebody to tell me, because I feel like I caught it like kind of like when it was moving already.
Yeah.
Because I saw that there was a CEO from Woolies that tasted a pie, or was it a burger?
No, it was a burger.
Okay, it was a pie.
And this is actually good.
I think it started when a global CEO from the M chain, I'm not gonna say their names, but I think he actually tasted his burger on camera. And I don't know, I don't think it went well. Can somebody please tell us, please give us, because as much as we are, you know, chronically online, we miss some things, and I feel like this is one of those things where we've missed, where it was just like, what is actually the law about it?
Yeah. So he's clearly not a guinea pig for his business.
Anyway, okay, we're gonna take a break, and then after this we have the good, the bad, and the spin. I'm looking forward to it. Okay, guys, this is the good, the bad, and the spin. So what we're gonna do in this part of the show is we're gonna go through and discuss some topics, opinions, insights, might be a little bit of news, things that are on our radar, and then we're gonna decide if they are good, bad, or spin. Okay, first one is up. So I think this one is like obvious, but good television is back. Good TV is back.
that.
So I've been watching a lot of shows. Okay, so one thing that you'll come to find out about me, guys, on this podcast is I'm obsessed with shows and TV. I watch a lot of shows. A lot of international shows. So whether it be a good show, a bad show, I don't know. I've probably watched it.
Are you like one of those people who commits even if like the show is bad? Okay.
I will leave a bad show immediately.
Same,
Okay.
same.
Like if you're not bringing the storytelling, because sometimes also like I don't expect a show to be like amazing or like to like move me, but like the thing that I'm tuning in for, if you're not giving that to me, I'm going.
Yeah.
I'm gone.
I'm committed to
Gone
Grey's
ganje.
Anatomy. I'm
Hey?
committed to Grey's Anatomy. I'm never
a
gonna stop.
diehard.
I'm never gonna stop.
Yeah, Die Hard, Grey's Anatomy, I still watch it. Like to the point where I will go on the streaming platform and look for episodes. Like, where is the
Where's
episode?
the episode?
Yeah. And for me, Grey's is the kind of show where I need it to have like with my meals. Like that's like, that's Grey's for me. Like
Yeah,
I can't,
same.
you know, when I have the meal, but I'm like, I need
Something is missing.
something is missing. So that's Grey's for me. But today I actually want to talk about Testaments on Disney Plus, The Pit on HBO Max, Paradise on Disney Plus, Your Friends and Neighbors on Apple TV. Yeah, gasp. And then also Nemesis on Netflix. So I'm going to go into a little bit of a synopsis for each one. I'm going to tell you what I like about them. Okay, so Testaments on Disney Plus. Oh my God, so good. So Testaments is the, I guess, sequel to The Handmaid's Tale. So I never finished The Handmaid's Tale. Like I think I left it on season 3, season 4, something like that. And there's like 9 seasons or something
It got
like that.
ridiculous.
It got intense. So it's an evolution of the story. It's a dramatic coming of age story set in Gilead. It follows young teens. Agnes, who is played by, what's her name again? Chase Infinity. Played by Chase Infinity.
Yes.
And then we have the character of Daisy, who's a new arrival. And she's someone that's converted from outside of Gilead. Outside of Gilead, which is Canada, I think, closest to them. And then she comes into Gilead and essentially they navigate sort of the gilded halls of Aunt Lydia's school. And they are being prepared to be future wives. Like obedience is super serious there. Like they don't play about it. And it's instilled quite brutally and all always with divine justification. So they base their laws on the Bible. Side eye. Bombastic. So then the teens and the girls actually form quite a bond, and they protect each other and serve justice for each other sometimes when they're not supposed to. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this show. I actually watched the finale yesterday, I want to say. And yeah, it's been 10 episodes of like a really strong build-up on the Testaments. And the last 2 episodes, jump scare, Sana. Jump scare. So anyway, I need you guys to go watch that. But interestingly, fun fact, Chase Infinity, who plays Agnes, who's also on One Battle After Another, and that won Best Picture at the Academy Awards.
She's the one who wore the colorful dress at the Met Gala.
Of course, it had to be about the fashions for you.
Of course.
Yeah. Yes, she wore the colorful, the tight-fitting
Yes, the tight
number.
with the South African colors, actually.
I didn't even notice that it was South African colors. Okay, interesting. So her name, because I've always been intrigued by her name, like ever since she popped into the scene. Her name, like Chase Infinity, like how do you get a name like that?
So interesting.
And I knew it wasn't a stage name because I think it's like her real name. But
is it?
Yeah, I thought to Google it. But actually, according to Vanity Fair, I didn't make this up.
Okay.
Chase Infinity's name was inspired by a 1995 Batman Forever. That's a movie.
Okay.
So there's a character there called Chase.
Okay.
So they named her after that. Her real last name, right? Not that Infinity is not in her name, but her real last name is Payne. And then Infinity is her middle name. It's like her real middle name.
Oh, wow.
But it is inspired by, please guess.
What?
Buzz Lightyear.
To infinity and beyond.
To infinity and beyond. Who are your parents?
Makes
What is
sense.
going on?
Makes sense.
But anyway,
Wow.
So that's the Testament. And for me, that's a good.
Yeah, that's definitely a good.
Okay. On to the next one, The Pit, HBO. I saw Stephen there giving... It's not her mom, but anyway, let's not give it to the people. But anyway, watch the finale.
I need to get into the show.
Good. It's so good. But I won't lie, the build-up is a bit intense because I was getting to a point where I was like, okay, is something going to happen? But anyway, moving on to The Pit, HBO. Medical drama.
I love that show. In my veins.
Guys, a medical drama. There is no medical drama on this earth that I have not watched unless it is not actually available to watch in South Africa. Like I've watched ER. ER came out the same year I was born. I have watched it, all of it. So The Pit is also a medical drama. It is essentially about the daily lives of these healthcare workers in Pittsburgh, in Boston. I think that's in Boston, right? Pittsburgh.
No, Pittsburgh is Massachusetts, I think.
That's why you're you and I'm me. And essentially they juggle personal crises, workplace politics, and the emotional toll of treating critically ill patients, revealing the resilience required in their noble calling. So basically, I think The Pit is one of the very few medical dramas that don't actually dramatize for the purpose of story what happens in a emergency room. So it feels real, like the way that the camera moves is like, it feels like you're there, and it regulates your emotions as such.
Yeah.
So it's almost like you get cues on sort of what I'm supposed to be feeling, what I'm supposed to be thinking in certain moments, but they do it in a way that feels really, really authentic to the story that they're trying to tell about this particular emergency room, which is understaffed, under pressure, trying to do the best that they can. And we see them essentially between 2 shifts. So we'll see the one shift come in and then the next shift. So there's like almost like 2 ensembles of cast. So the night shift and the day shift. But the most interesting thing about The Pit is that the entire season is shot on in one shift.
Yeah.
Which is like the best thing about it, I find. So every single episode is an hour in the shift. So I thought that was super, super creative, and I am loving it. Noah Weil is getting some hate online, and I don't know why, but you know what? I'm not going to get into it, but love The Pit.
I love that show.
Have you watched it?
Yeah, I have
All of it?
the first season. I haven't gotten into the second season yet.
Get into it.
But yeah, I watched the first season, and I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Same. Okay, on to Paradise. Guys, this list is long. On to Paradise. Paradise is a sci-fi political thriller set in a seemingly idyllic, wealthy community inhabited by the world's most prominent figures, when the shocking murder of the US president disrupts the safety of this idyllic kind of made up world that they're in. And essentially what happened in Paradise is that it's like apocalyptic. So the world ended, and instead of sort of everyone dying, there's like the select, I guess the 1% decided that they were going to build a really big bunker where they would now sort of simulate real life in this bunker. They simulate the sunshine, they simulate certain sounds, certain things that, you know, would alternatively be in the outside world.
Don't give Elon any ideas.
Do you know, I have a feeling that like that already exists. I feel like it exists in our world. But they're obviously not going to tell us about it. But yeah, so Sterling K. Brown is the lead, and I'm really enjoying it. As someone that's watched, I think, is it season 2? Yes, season 2 and season 1. I think they've definitely stepped up the storytelling in season 2. It's not often that you get a really, really good first season of a show like Paradise, and then they're able to actually amp up the ante in season 2. So shout out to them, shout out to the writers. And they are already in production for season 3. So
nice.
I'm ready. Okay, Your Friends and Neighbors, Apple TV. I'm stressed. Are you familiar with the show?
I've watched the first season. I need to get into the second.
Okay, how hot is John Hamm?
Oh, he's so hot. Oh my goodness.
Folks. Anyway, that's not why we're here.
But he was also on I'm digressing again. On the morning show, also on Apple TV.
Yes. Yeah, I'd say Apple TV is starting to sort of formulate kind of a pool of talent that they go back to. Because even the guy that stars as the president in Paradise, James Marsden, he's done quite a lot of Apple TV work as well. Okay. I find that they kind of like gravitate or go back to the same people, or I think they give deals to certain talent where they can do multiple projects on Apple TV.
Nice.
But Your Friends and Neighbors stresses me so much, guys, because why are you a wealthy finance bro, right, with a family and 2 kids, white picket fence, right, get a divorce and decide you're going to go into theft?
But not that. You're going to rob your actual friends.
You're going to rob your neighbors.
neighbors.
Why are you robbing your neighbors? Guys, the show, I won't lie, season 1 stressed me out so much just because of like the level of danger that they were actually depicting and the things that he was stealing. That's also one of my favorite things about the show is the way that they talk about what's being stolen. So the premise of the show is that sort of this guy is a finance bro and he's having a midlife crisis, right? And essentially, but they keep kind of the trade and the conversation about money in the things that he steals, the way that they talk about like sort of these prized possessions, talking about the value of them, the history, where they come from. That's actually so tea that they do on Your Friends and Neighbors.
Yeah, I do wonder from a PR perspective if the brands are actually involved. So, or if like the writing team decides to approach certain brands, because that would be interesting.
Because I do get a sense that Apple TV is very commercially centered, you know, even as a storytelling platform, a streaming platform. So you'll obviously, and I guess this makes sense, like all the devices on an Apple TV show will be Apple devices if Apple has the device.
Yeah.
So interesting. I think I was telling you that I was watching the show and they were in the police precinct on Your Friends and Neighbors, and it was just IMAX in the police precinct. And I was like, why would the police precinct have Apple IMAX? And I don't know, like, am I just Povo speak?
Like the police station with IMAX.
Is it just me and my Povo South African speak? Because I was like, why would the police have IMAX? But then I remembered Apple TV.
Apple. Yeah, but also like imagine if you are someone who is in procurement, or if you are like the chief information officer of a police bureau from another country. Maybe you could look at that and see and think that, oh, if, you know, the Americans are using IMAX in their police stations, maybe somewhere in our procurement we need to start thinking about it. So I think it's actually smart from Apple Smart product
Very
placement.
good, Apple
Good
TV.
PR.
Very, very good. Okay, last one from this one is like an unassuming one. Nemesis on Netflix, which
Okay.
I had originally included as like to give them a participation mention, right?
Okay.
Because I started the show, I was not convinced, not having a good time. It's made by the same woman that makes Power.
Yeah, I saw the trailer, I think. Yeah, I
Courtney
saw the
Kemp.
trailer.
That's her name, Courtney
Okay.
Kemp. And look, and I watched it without knowing that at first. So I enjoyed Power, big fan. I've watched some of the spin-offs as well. Like I said, if it's on the TV, I will be
You are
watching
it.
Anyway, so Nemesis starts and I'm like getting into it and I'm just like, yeah, what are we doing here? There's like overacting. It's kind of giving Tyler Perry, right? Until this one Saturday afternoon where I put it on in the background. Can you hear even the way I think about it? I put it on in the background so I could edit. And I'm watching. Hey, things just start going. It's getting interesting. It's getting
Really?
good. It's getting riveting. It really actually got so good. And the storytelling, I think, really, really improved. And I think maybe it's that they needed to make certain storytelling decisions in the first few episodes in order to kind of contextualize us as the viewer, sort of land who the characters are, who they story. Because I think in the second half of the season, fire.
Nemesis is the one, is it the one with the two police officers in LA?
Let me tell you, it's a high stakes crime drama, and it follows a relentless LAPD detective. So obsessed with bringing down an expert mastermind thief and his crew after a brazen Halloween heist. Look here, I even wrote starring no one that you really know. I was really not feeling this show, and then I watched it.
You know, I have this a love-hate relationship with propaganda because obviously we're like we
and
know
America
what the
does it
police.
so well.
But yeah, so is that good PR or bad PR? Because propaganda has a chokehold on us, but for me, it's it's
what?
spin.
Yeah,
It's
you know
spin.
what? You know what? It is spin. It is spin. Because I wonder, do you know what? The Obamas actually mentioned this. I think it was Michelle. She was doing an interview where she talked about how they would meet with Hollywood producers to actually sort of incentivize them and encourage them to kind of write certain stories. And not that they were like sitting there saying, okay, go write this movie and go write this movie, but kind of like almost essentially highlighting what the issues are for them. So if they're having sort of a police issue in terms of police PR, police perception, police positioning in America, obviously that would be the thing. If there is a military kind of, not issue, but necessarily like positioning job that to be done, she has actually mentioned in an episode that is something that they did do. They would sort of engage producers and directors
That is
to
definitely
kind of
spin.
encourage certain storytelling. So 100% spin.
Yeah. A bit of excitement around local TV. SABC2 recently announced their two shows, Paradise and Pimville. Pimville has since been cancelled because, there's a lot going on there. Another exciting show that has the country in a chokehold is Inimba on Mzansi Magic.
I've heard about that one.
Yeah,
I've heard about that one. Apparently also the cast is like also getting some really, really good time in the limelight.
Yeah. And they should because they're really brilliant. But then there's also reality television. Uthando Nesthembu. Oh my goodness. Do you know what the show is about?
It's Tembu.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's this polygamist guy, one of the most terrible men on television. But yeah, it's a polygamist and his relationship with his
Why do you
wives.
say it's terrible?
Oh, he treats his wives so badly.
Really? How did he get? How many of them?
But like
there?
not overtly badly, but like he essentially, like if you watch the seasons of the show as it rolls out, like you see that he's actually not a good man.
Damn.
Yeah, but yeah, he's got 4 wives. Well, 5 now. So the premise or like the plot throughout the seasons has been him trying to get his 5th wife and the wives sort of like being reluctant because they feel like there's promises that he has made to them that he has not managed to keep his word on.
How did he get 4 of them? Girl,
like it's very convoluted. So the the one who is now the second wife was actually meant to be his first wife, but then her parents did not approve of the marriage, right? And so he married the one who is the first wife. But then eventually, old girl came back, and now she came back as the second wife.
As she should.
Yeah. And then the third wife, so there's some confusion about how she came about. So she's from the neighborhood. There's some story that she was a nanny to the kids. There was some story that they used to have a church and she used to be one of the congregants in the church. But yeah, eventually.
Used to have a church. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of intrigued.
I feel like I'm not telling the story well.
It's fine. We are limited for time, guys.
Yeah, but so yeah, essentially, and then the fourth wife was a friend to the third wife. Yeah, so that's how he got the four wives, and then yeah, now he's got the fifth one, and it's just causing a whole lot of commotion in the marriage. But yeah, it's very interesting, and also I think because it's like their reality, so it's quite shocking.
Hector
But for me, the
Carter.
thing with like all these local shows is that are doing so well is that there is a
Who's calling
sorry,
you,
that's
Rich? Is
my
it a
alarm.
client?
No, it's it's not a client, but it's my alarm for my. We're shooting this on a Friday, so for like I'm wrapping up my Friday for
Oh, fair,
from
fair.
2:30.
This is early, Rich.
Yes,
This
you
is
can side
early.
eye me all you like, but yeah, we are wrapping up.
No, you know what? Do what you like.
Yeah, so like there's like all of this excitement around these local shows. It shows that like there's an opportunity for brands to communicate in those spaces. But I think when something like the canceling of Pimville happens, like I think there's a reluctance from a marketing perspective to say like, do we invest? Because what if you invested in a show and then to find that the behind the scenes drama causes the show to be cancelled?
Right.
Like, where does
and
that leave you?
It's such a dilemma because I think, objectively, these local shows have huge audiences, like huge audiences that like placement opportunities are a no-brainer sometimes. And I think when it is marred by stuff that is happening behind the scenes or in the back end, it's really unfortunate because I think that is income stream opportunity for not only the production, but a potential to essentially bump up the kind of fees that talent is seeing. So potential to actually kind of move away from the rhetoric of sort of talent being paid really low fees. I don't know, guys, there's just so much potential because guys, local shows and the numbers are huge, humongous, ginormous.
Yeah.
But I don't think that there is enough commercial viability from kind of the positioning around it and how it is packaged and branded.
Yeah. So would you say
Sad.
like local television good PR or bad PR? Yeah, I would also say bad because when things like that happen, that's bad. What they
Don't
do
come
need,
for me.
they need a whole lot of spin.
They need a whole lot of spin.
Yeah.
They need a little bit of some IMAX in the police
Call us.
precinct.
Call us. We can
Please.
hook that
we
up.
know the guys at Apple. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
We can do a thing.
Tyler's A-pop era. So I'm a huge Tyler fan.
So am I.
Love her down.
Yes, so am I.
So she's rolling out her sophomore album, and it's quite exciting. I think for me, she's creating this whole world around her being an African pop star. So like in the beginning, we saw her sort of wearing like the loincloth stuff. So she's sort of shedding that. And she's going more like with a very colorful, very neon, really like pop inspired look. So it's been interesting to see it. It sort of started when she did her Asia tour. So you'll see from the poster, it's like the colorful stuff. And then she's come out now with the album cover as well. And then it also goes like in terms of like how she dresses and then how she does her nails and stuff. So yeah, it will be really interesting to see how they further expand on sort of this world universe of A-pop that she's creating.
Yeah, look, what I've always liked about Tyler, and I think about the team around her, is how strategic they are. Like, she does not make a mistake. And I think I've watched a couple of content pieces where she really comes out as the person that leads the ideas in terms of the things that they do around her music, around her shows, around her styling, around her image. So really, really love that she's taking charge in that way. Like, I mean, she's got a team that's experienced. So you would sometimes think that, you know, they kind of bulldoze or like kind of drive a lot of the strategy, but it's really her, most of it. And I love how like locked in she is with her audience, like she understands them. And I also like, you know, love that her team sort of trusts her insights and, you know, that she understands who her listener is, who her audience is. But yeah, I'm eager to listen to it. I loved the first, was it an album or was it an EP?
It was an album. It was an
Loved
album,
the
and
first
then
album.
it had a what do you call it? Deluxe version.
Oh, yeah. You're
And
right.
then now it's her sophomore album. She's released the first single with Zara Larsson. And interestingly, Zara Larsson also sort of did something similar. There was a meme that went viral of, you know, a dolphin and then there's a colorful background. And she sort of leaned into that as well with the imagery that she created around her Midnight Sun album rollout as well. So she created a whole world around the colorful outfits and, you know, just leaning into that. So I think that's also a very interesting way to sort of, you know, go beyond like the normal music marketing that we see, because how effective is it? Like you really need to, you know, catch people's eyes. So I think that is good PR.
Very, very good, Tyler. What the heck? Very good.
What the heck?
Very good. Okay, next thing. The rise of celebrity creative studios and agencies and the decline of celebrity relevance. Now, let me land. More and more celebrities are actually creating companies, studios, agencies where they work behind the scenes on creative strategy, on content, etc. Right? So we see this with Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds has a company called Maximum Effort. And a few years ago, Ryan Reynolds started doing a lot of marketing around his companies that he had acquired or bought a stake in, like Mint Mobile, Aviation Gin, Wrexham Football Club, which has a whole documentary series on Netflix. And turns out that Maximum Effort is behind a lot of the marketing and partnerships and deals behind those companies and brands. And I've seen now other notable celebrities have also started their own agencies. David Beckham has a studio called Studio 99. Shaquille O'Neal has a company. Shaquille O'Neal also has his own documentary series on Netflix at the moment. Serena Williams apparently has a marketing business. Childish Gambino, aka Donald Glover. I can never get used to his real name. It's so weird. And so much more. But I think why I actually wanted to comment on this is because I find that it actually is working in tandem with the decline of celebrity relevance in Hollywood, right? And we've seen kind of celebrities clawing for relevance by relevance by starting beauty brands, right? Initially, the celebrities that were really early, like Gwyneth, etc., they started beauty brands because they either were really into skincare or really into this makeup product, like Selena Gomez, for an example, with Rare Beauty. And then sort of obviously the more it became popular, more and more celebrities started doing it as like really a cash grab, because Brad Pitt had no business starting a skincare business.
Like who has ever
Brad Pitt, I love
complimented
you, but
Brad Pitt on his skin?
You had no business. So anyway, so that for me started being like kind of like celebrities clawing for kind of relevance. Like this is what everyone else is doing, and this is how I sort of stay in the consumer world. If I'm not on their screens in the form of a film, in the form of a show. And if I'm not also an ambassador or, you know, leading some kind of brand as the face of it. And I find that this agency thing is going to be similar. And I find that like while sort of people like Ryan Reynolds may have started this like with really sort of good and sincere intentions, I think it is going to become something that more and more celebrities do, because it's just kind of like they don't have relevance in any other way. But on the flip side of that, to give them some grace, I do think that there is something to be said for being the person that is in control of the creative kind of, I guess, exploration of how your likeness is used. So for an example, if you have a brand partnership, you can be in charge of how that content is made via your content studio and content business while you're actually still earning as the face of that brand or a brand ambassador. So I think there is sort of some like there's a power element also to it that is, I think, worthwhile. But I do think that there's, like, some of the celebrities are just going to be starting an agency and we're going to be like, be surreal.
But also, the TikTok that you posted the other day around how brands work with influencers, right?
Yep.
And booking them as booking them as talent, right? So I think for celebrities for the longest time they were booked as talent. So movie stars, singers, they were booked as talent by brands. But then brands have sort of moved to booking influencers to do influencer work, and an influencer is able to have like that entire ecosystem, whereas with a celebrity, you would have to bring in the production company, you would have to bring in like the producer, you know, you'd have to bring everyone in. And what we saw with the shift moving towards influencers, that one influencer is able to be all of those things.
Those people,
so I think the celebrities are sort of under pressure to say that, okay, maybe let's also look at doing things the way that the influencers are doing them.
Yeah. Okay, guys, I'll give you that. but look, I did also want to mention that, like, in South Africa, funnily enough, I do find that we don't necessarily have a celebrity to company or agency pipeline. I find like we do have an actor to production company pipeline. But more than anything, I feel like we have an influencer to creative agency pipeline. I think we've seen like influencers like Nadia Jafta, who co-founded Ace Labs, Hervé Bokassa, EB the Kid, and he has a company called UG Studios with a partner, Kim Jade with Kim Jade Productions. So I think the more you essentially are putting your creativity on display and getting paid for it and lending it to brands, I think the more people are starting to think, hold on, I can actually have a certain level of ownership to this. And I think that's what we're seeing in South Africa. Yeah.
Is that good PR or bad PR?
Very good, kids. Love it. Keep doing it.
Yes,
keep doing it. Keep it up. Yeah. Guys, I think the English is like escaping me.
It's Friday.
It's Friday.
We've been speaking English the whole week.
That's so real. That's so true. But yeah, let's keep it moving. Let's keep it pushing.
Yeah. Well, to bring it back to the fashions, because, you know, I love the fashions.
Gotta be the clothes, the gowns.
The Met Gala this year. What a event.
I don't know. I feel like it was it came and went.
Yeah.
I feel like it didn't have a lot of the post-Met Gala fanfare that it usually garners.
Yeah, because Rihanna wasn't there.
She was there. What do you mean?
Oh, yes, she was.
She was there.
That is so bad. The fact that I did not even remember.
Girl. But no, she was there.
Shucks. Wait, what did I want to say about the Met Gala?
That it was very profitable and made a lot of money.
Oh, yes. So this was the most profitable Met Gala to date. But it's so interesting that the Met Gala that, like you said, is like seemingly the most forgettable one, for it to be the most profitable one.
That was shocking to me. I was very, very shocked to hear that it was as profitable as it was. But I mean, like, these numbers are record-breaking numbers. So in last year, 2025, it broke the record in 2025 already for how much money that they made, which was $31 million. But in 2026, they upped that and they made $42 million.
Yeah.
And this is from pledges and businesses buying tables at the Met, tickets, all the shenanigans around it. I'm very shocked to hear that, considering how it literally, like, if you blinked, you missed it.
Yeah. There's also the Jeff Bezos element. Because he and his wife have also, like, invested heavily.
Yeah.
You know, they're behind Condé Nast, which is the publisher for Vogue, which curates the Met Gala. So there's also that element to it. But it's so interesting that so many tech brands were part of the Met Gala this year. So you have Amazon, obviously, you have Meta, you have OpenAI, and Snapchat, who all... I can't believe Snapchat is still around. I thought...
No, Snapchat is back for the Gen Zs. Oh,
really?
Snapchat is huge. It's back.
Yeah, so...
Kylie Jenner's on Snapchat. Snapchat.
That makes sense.
Snapchat.
That makes sense then.
No, it's back in a big way. But I'm actually shocked about them buying tables at $350,000.
That's a lot of
per
money.
table.
Per table.
At the Met Gala.
Yeah,
Shocker.
that's actually bizarre. But for me, it's like, why are all these tech brands actually getting involved in the Met Gala?
It's a big for me, because I think every year it feels like the Met Gala has some kind of, slight saga as it relates to evolution and media, etc. So last year it was that there were a lot of social media companies that bought tables. So Instagram had a table, TikTok had a table. And as a result, there were a lot more creators on the guest list. So that was the big hoo-ha in 2025. And now in 2026, there's such a big hoo-ha that there is a whole boycott, or there was a whole boycott called Boycott the Bezos Met Gala.
Oh, wow.
There was a whole activist group behind it. Obviously calling out not only Big Tech, but Amazon specifically, I think for the atrocities that they commit in many different ways around the country. Do you know what? I don't know if I'm allowed to say the things that I'm saying.
Say it. We
I
want
don't know
to
if I'm
hear it.
allowed to say the things I'm saying. But anyway, I think more than anything, I think like you said, like so the investment that Amazon and the Bezos specifically made into the Met Gala this year, I think made it a target, obviously, for activism in that way. So there were protests around the Met Gala, and a lot of celebrities also boycotted, like by not attending.
Yeah.
Taraji P. Henson being the first one, being one of them. So yeah, I don't know. It seems a bit scandalous. It's been a scandalous Met, but again, such a forgettable Met.
Yeah, but it also goes to show that you can't, just because Jeff Bezos has got this, he's got this bad PR, right? And now he's trying to latch onto a platform that he knows is beloved. But you actually cannot loot your a good reputation, and you cannot piggyback off of someone else's good reputation to try and clear yours. So I think this was bad PR.
Terrible, guys. Let's try again next year.
Bad. But the other day, someone tried to come for Queen Rudy Tlhabi on Twitter.
We know how that ends.
Come on, like, you cannot come for Rudy Tlhabi. Like, since she's always, like, she will read you down.
Yeah.
So she went and did her research to see who this person is, because they were claiming that Rudy Tlhabi is, always speaking against Israel, right? Which rightfully anyone with sense is speaking against Israel. And then this guy comes back and he says, you didn't have a problem taking money from my mom.
Now,
And
why would
then
you do that?
Rudy Tlhabi goes and she does her research, and she finds out that this guy, his name is Mark Saltzman. So he's an heir of the Dis-Chem company. So it was founded by his, family, and then he inherited. So he's a shareholder in the business.
I really hate that it had to be Dis-Chem.
Unfortunately.
Damn.
And so Rudy was like, okay, so if you are who I think you are, then you are talking about the Saltzman Foundation, which, by the way, I have never gotten any money from, but Dis-Chem does or did advertise on Radio 702 at the time that she was at Radio 702. And so she did like almost like a call out to the foundation to say that, are you guys saying that the talent or the broadcasters that you advertise on, you should also be able to influence their opinions based on the fact that you are advertising on them.
Damn.
And it was just like, it's become this PR nightmare, with the Human Rights Commission is also now involved and doing their own investigation. So the Dis-Chem has come out with a statement to sort of distance themselves from Saltzman, saying that he's not an employee, board member, or spokesperson. And they condemned his comments, and they said that they're taking further steps to protect their reputation while the investigation continues.
I really, really hate that it had to be them, because literally just the other day, and because of the story, one of our creator clients was briefed to do an in-store content piece, and they had to pick between Dis-Chem or another store. And I immediately jumped in that group chat. I said, go anywhere but Dis-Chem. And I really hate that it had to be them. So I'm glad that they've actually dropped a statement and distanced themselves. I think that's, I guess, the first step of crisis PR is that you do have to respond. But do you think this is a media training issue for Mark?
I think maybe it is a media training issue, but I think he's more of a behind the scenes person. I don't think he anticipated that Really Klabi would make the connection and sort of get a Dis-Chem involved in it. So, yeah, bad move.
No further comments.
Yeah, and that's it for the good, the bad, the spin.
Let us
segment.
know if there's anything that we missed on the radar, guys. Leave us a comment and let us know what you thought was good, bad, awesome spin that might have missed us. Cool. So, guys, this part of the show is called Under Review. And for this episode, we're going to be doing a deep dive into the cultural dominance that Adidas has had in this country as well as globally. And I think they're really reaping the rewards. So as far as we can tell, and as far as I can tell, Adidas made a very deliberate decision and choice back in 2023 to double down on this 3 stripes sort of visual moniker, messaging moniker, essentially sort of anchoring their brand around that. So they have 3 kind of key departments at Adidas, and that is performance, it is training, and it is lifestyle. Okay. And I feel like for me, in turn, that sort of translates to in the way that they've communicated the brand and the way that they've marketed sport, community, and culture. So seemingly they're quite intentional about asserting their dominance in sportswear by actually participating in the different communities and the cultures that they play a part in. So I think now they have the numbers to back it up. So they actually dropped their annual numbers for 2026 back in April, and they announced that they had a 22% increase in global direct-to-consumer sales. Wow. So that's e-commerce and retail, with all their markets recording double digits improvements.
Oh, wow.
22% when other brands are seeing declines.
Yeah.
And I don't think it is by mistake, but they credit the double-digit increase to in footwear sales to running and trail. So that's their running department, running shoes, all of that.
Hey,
and
all these running clubs.
The running clubs are doing something for Adidas, guys, and vice versa, right? I think this also, is notable on the heels of sort of the historic win by Sebastian Sawe, who broke the world record. I think it was at the Boston Marathon, if I'm not mistaken, wearing an Adi Zero shoe.
Oh.
And then he went further and wrote the actual world record time on the shoe. And now they keep that shoe in a glass.
Oh, wow.
In an acrylic glass. And it's literally because can you imagine what that does for your brand after investing so much money and so much capital, human capital resources to play a part in the running culture, in the running dynamic? Adidas has the biggest running club in the world. I think the running club is in over 40 countries and over 50 major cities. So it's the world's largest running club. And they were not the first to do it, by the way. But they are the one that have seemingly kind of been able to sustain it the longest. So they've done really big community building projects. And I think they are now reaping the rewards of that. So that's just one aspect. And then a quote: performance revenues rose 29% on a currency-neutral basis in the first quarter, driven by strong double-digit growth in football, running, and training. In football, momentum increased on the back of the successful FIFA World Cup 2026 away jersey launch in March. Let's talk about that Adidas Bafana Bafana jersey and the way that they launched that. That was so wild.
Yeah, that was incredible. It's already everywhere. I imagine it's just going to get worse.
Personal anecdote, right? So the first thing I see is I see that Adidas has taken Focalistic to Los Angeles, where they did the global launch of all the FIFA kits that Adidas does. So they launched all the jerseys, and Focalistic was our country rep, which is super, super cool.
Nice.
Love that for him as someone that's been with Adidas for so long. And so that was the first thing I saw. Then I think the jersey drops, I think officially in stores. I don't know anything about it. Then I see the content. That amazing content series that Adidas shot with people like Hugo Bros, who's our Bafana Bafana coach. They had Lucas Radebe in there. They had Primo in there. They had Scaife in there. The storytelling was really rich. The comedic timing was amazing. The quality of the content was superb. I think they really just knocked it out the park, guys. And it got to a point, like you were saying, like you were seeing either Bafana Bafana Adidas content everywhere. You were seeing the jersey everywhere. Then I went to the store. I think I went to Canal Walk in Cape Town. That was literally I walked in and they handed me the jersey.
Yeah.
I said, you know what?
They knew.
I respect it.
They knew immediately.
They knew what I was coming to. They were holding the jerseys by the hanger and kind of just like handing them out like hotcakes. The jerseys are flying. And then on top of that, I was really, really so pleased to see that there was actually an activation in store around the jersey, around the FIFA World Cup. So literally at every touch point, digital, retail, e-com, like content, influencer, everything. It was communicating this one story, this one narrative, which is what they've nailed so well. That omni-channel strategy at Adidas, fire.
Yeah, it just shows that it works. You know, when we are doing these strategies and we are presenting them to clients, we present them to be rolled out in a specific way and to include, you know, sort of every element.
Yeah.
But, you know, when it comes time to talk budgets and execution,
tough times, yeah.
it becomes hard to sort of, you know, execute everything. And you find that sometimes, you know, the plans and the strategies that you did present, certain elements do not make it to the go live stage.
RIP
But it
to all the ideas. Yeah.
But Adidas actually proves that if you actually do it and you really champion your strategy, there's a positive outcome.
Payoff.
Yeah, there's a payoff.
People win Premier Leagues in your jersey. That's a thing that happens when you're a winner. People win the what's the South African, the PSL in your jersey. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's like strategic partnership, and that's not a mistake.
Yeah.
And I think all these things that we're mentioning, you know, logistically and practically, they sit in different departments and different floors in a building. But somehow these people have been able to actually deliver a really beautiful brand strategy in a way that feels so meaningful to the consumer. They are landing that they have an understanding of their audience. They have an understanding of their consumer. They are digitally locked in and they know how to do effective marketing. So yeah, no, that was under review with Adidas. And we're going to take a short break, but we'll be back after this.
All right, let's go. Here we go. Almost there.
Where the first drive is the beginning of a brand new chapter. Let Tata Tiago take you there from only $2,450 per month. T's and C's apply.
So our next segment is the after action review. So we've been yapping about other people, but this is where we speak about the work that we do. Yeah. So recently, one of our clients, Tata, got the amazing opportunity to partner with the House of BNG by our girl, Bonang Mateva. And it was an opportunity that we really needed, right? We needed to associate the brand with a premium customer and a woman who values the finer things in life.
Exactly.
Particularly the Tata Curve.
Exactly.
That is the car for the girls.
That is what I want.
So, you know, the consumer for that car, she's a trendsetter. She's a leader of taste, international about carving a premium lifestyle for herself. So we needed to put the Curve in front of that audience, right? And seeking an opportunity to do so, the House of BNG retreat was the perfect opportunity.
As someone that was there perfect. 10 out
Yeah.
of 10. Like the House of B&G team, the team at Orchid on 25.
Amazing.
Really, really curated a wonderful experience that was so intimate, so considered. And I think it just made it was House of B&G.
Yeah.
That experience was House of B&G. And really, we were just lucky to be there.
Yeah. But it was such a aligned partnership,
Yes.
you know, by
100%.
experiencing the car and being chauffeured, you know, in the Tata Curve, you could see, feel and touch and hear the technology and safety design that underpins, you know, the Tata Motors passenger vehicles philosophy, and obviously to be associated with the Queen. Imagine.
100%. And to give you a look at what it looked like, this is what went down at the House of B&G retreat.
She is a pioneer, one who doesn't need much introduction, a taste maker, a way maker as well. Let's party! Top friends at Tata Motors will stay with her. Allah, like Tata Motors, Allah, no drinking and driving today.
Cool. Now on to Archive, the Fashini Group's niche athleisure and sports style brand. In addition to housing the best global brands like New Balance, Adidas, Nike, and local brands like Socio Social, Yarns, and many more, Archive actually releases their own bespoke collections and apparel under the Archive brand. And for winter 2026, they dropped The Local, which are pieces that are inspired by off-the-pitch football style and culture. So under their homegrown First Thursday property, we at Melenial Media, thank you. We curated an experience which included photo moments that were inspired by the concept, interactive pop-ups where people could do tie customization. That was like actually such a hit at the event. Something that was really pulled together in the 9th hour. What's the phrase? In the final hour?
Yeah, the
In
99th.
hour.
Yeah, is it not the 99th?
I don't know. What's the English, guys? Please tell us. Anyway, so like literally something that really we pulled off by luck ended up being a touch point that the attendees really, really loved. They were able to sort of brand their ties that were thrifted. So we had all different ties. Everyone felt like they had their own one-of-one tie, and they got to brand it with the Archive A. And we had live embroidery at the event. You could watch your tie being embroidered. So people really, really love that. Food and drinks, obviously one would expect sort of kind of inspired by like local pub, lounge kind of vibes. We had Kwaito tunes in playing. So we curated sort of the DJs and the lineup to play and sort of give us that feel from an audio perspective. And this is how it all came together, guys. Take a look.
Happy First Thursday, everyone. Welcome.
Fashion PR is like my ultimate dream. Like the whole reason why I got into the industry was so that I could work for Kimora Simmons. Like she was she inspired me. So
Is this your way of telling me I'm not doing enough?
this is my way of telling you that we need to do more with Archive in Joburg.
Okay, girl. Archive.
Yes.
Listening.
So lastly, we have to talk about SABC Plus bringing the Glambot to the Metro FM Awards.
So cool.
Yeah. That was like, a very exciting campaign for us to work on and to execute. Shout out to our operations manager, Zola.
Head of projects. I think she's going to be very upset if you don't get her title right.
Head of projects.
Yes.
Sorry. She does operations, she does production, she does a whole lot.
She's every woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so for this one, the client asked us to design a branded backdrop that would serve as a backing for the Glambot videos. And we went the extra mile, calling out our frequent collaborators, Set Life Studios.
Who?
Set Life Studios.
No, I never heard of them.
I love them so much.
Really?
So they were there to help give us like a behind the scenes feel of the content in a way that we've come to love. And, those international Glambot videos popularized by E-Red Carpet, Cole. Can't remember his surname.
Cole, yeah.
But yeah, the budget was conservative, but the final product was incredible. Have a look.
So now we've tooted our own horns and, got our daps. Thank you very much. But we also love to give credit where it is due. And this part of the show is all about honoring colleagues, industry voices, tastemakers, influencers, people doing the work that makes us go, oh, that's good. So this is the Gold Star Award. And on this episode, it's actually someone I know and also a brand that we spoke about a little bit earlier. So in recognition of her work for steering the Adidas brand between, I think, 2023 to date, we are awarding Noxolo Mafu this episode's Gold Star. Woo!
Love your work.
Love your work down. So you heard and you saw the work that we talked about under review earlier in the show. And now we want to give her flowers. So I'm sure this is a big team and collaborator effort, obviously, over at Adidas with collaborators and partner agencies. But I think they are being steered and led quite well with by Noxolo. So shout out to everybody at Adidas, from performance marketing to media to digital
Shout outs.
Everything in between. You guys are really leading the pack in the category, and you deserve the recognition for all the graft that you are putting in. Woo! That brings us to the end of our first episode of the Good PR podcast. We really hope that you've enjoyed this marketing industry love letter that we are writing together, you and us. Please let us know in the comments what your favorite story, insight, or piece of work is from this episode. We'd love to hear your thoughts.
And follow us on Instagram, X, and TikTok at Melenial Media to see what we get up to when we are working. For now, this has been the Good PR podcast, trying to inspire better marketing for the best impact.